We're going to check out the new major order. Not only that, it looks like players are once again leaving negative reviews about Helldivers 2. In this video, we'll discuss that along with the recent major order failure message and much more. If you find this video helpful or informative at any point, please give it a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications by clicking the bell below. Hey, starting off, we have a brand new major order, and it's absolutely big because we're now going to be able to stop Ivis from hopefully blowing up due to the singularity and how it's moving so quickly. So if you're nowhere near your PC or console, then allow me to go over it right now and we'll talk about it. With that being said, this is what High Command wrote. The Automaton offensive, in addition to the territorial costs, also stole precious time to slow the Meridian Singularity. Citizens of Ivis have begun preparing for the possibility of a full planet evacuation. There can be no further delays to the deployment of the Penrose Energy Siphon. The Helldivers are ordered to immediately commence rapid and aggressive E-710 gathering operations. The Penrose Energy Siphon, once fueled, is intended to effect a significant one-time reduction in dark energy accumulation, thereby slowing the Meridian Singularity. They are ordered to liberate designated Terminid-infested planets. The additional risk to personnel associated with heavy infestation operations has been deemed acceptable, given the current circumstance. Now you might be wondering, what are we doing, Glitch? Well, all we have to do is liberate Borok and Esker. That's it. So there's no certain amount of kills you have to achieve or anything like that. You just go straight down, liberate the planets like the good old classic way, and that's pretty much it. So let's talk about the game plan here. We're gonna head to Borok. It's low resistance, really low. It's 1.0, not 1.50. Then from there, we'll travel over to Esker and call it a day, liberate that planet. There's no gambit involved. There's no just, I don't know, complex ways of approaching it. We're just gonna go down on these planets and just liberate it, and that's really it. Well, it seems we've lost the recent major order, something I didn't see coming when High Command first sent out the message 3 days ago about saying, hey, we've got a new major order. Regardless, the major order is lost, and now we've got a fresh briefing from High Command. As usual, if you're nowhere near your PlayStation or console, here's what they had to say. The Automaton Incineration Corps has stolen vast swaths of ground from our citizens, burning thousands of toxin-free homes to the ground. The Helldivers fought valiantly, but the underhanded opportunism of the automatons allowed the enemy significant gains. The enemy remains at large. Reports indicate the enemy's strategic goal is to seize old industrial assets in the Severance sector, where the automatons first emerged. Insufficient E-710 was gathered to deploy the Penrose Energy Siphon. The assets remain on standby and active as the Meridian Singularity rapidly moves towards Ivis. Yeah, I don't know about you all, but did you catch that part where they mentioned the automatons are targeting a sector we're all too familiar with? The Severance sector, home to Malevelon Creek. It's devastating to think we might be heading into another war on the creek, but this time I believe it'll be different. Not that we're going to lose, but that we'll be far more prepared than we were at the start. The big question is, how will the automatons reach Malevelon Creek? There are actually a few possible routes they could take. I grabbed a screenshot from the Helldivers Companion app and drew some lines on the map to illustrate their option. So the quickest path would be starting from Dolph, moving through Popoli 9, and then Mance, and finally reaching the creek. Another option could be Charble 7, Mort, Ingmar, Mance, and then the creek. The longest route for the bots would be from Chopisa all the way to the creek, as you can see here. Once we get the next major order, it'll be interesting to see which path they take. The best move we can make is to block their future attacks by liberating either Charble or Dolph. They both have low resistance, and if they decide to attack, we should liberate those planets regardless because we can stop the attacks and win the defense by knocking two birds out with one stone. So I think that's the best plan. To be fair, you can let me know what you think. Besides the new major order, there's a fresh glitch that lets you soar higher and higher into the air using the new hover pack. First, you'll need to unlock the hover pack from the latest Borderline Justice War bond. Once that's done, head to a planet, call down the Stratagem, and equip the hover pack on your back. Then simply press the button or key, whichever works for you on PC, to lift off. Hold the button or the key to detach the hover pack, quickly grab it midair, and perform an emote right afterwards. This will let you stay airborne, wait for the cooldown to go down, and then, you should be able to use it again. Move slightly, then hit the button to fly up again. Then you can repeat this process continuously. It's a cool little glitch worth trying out, so let me know what you think. Also, since we're talking about the hover pack, I have something interesting to show you as well. And the support team has confirmed the developers left a certain thing with the hover pack in the game. And you guys might have seen it before, but we're going to talk about it right here. If you haven't done this just yet, fly up in the air and then remove the backpack. Don't grab it again like the glitch, just let it fly away. And you're going to notice how it does this whole cartoony type of jetpack thing. It just flies all over the place. I thought that was really cool. And the developers actually left this in the game on purpose. Here's what the support team member wrote. This was intended, someone put it in as a joke, but they all thought it was funny, so they left it in. That's absolutely amazing. The more you know, I mean, come on. That's amazing to know about. What do y'all think about that? If you can, let me know in the comments. Let's set that discussion aside for a moment and dive into the negative reviews that have been cropping up lately. To be honest, they're not as overwhelming as they were last year when we saw over 200,000 negative reviews, but it's still worth addressing. First off, I want to make it clear that my goal here isn't to stir the pot, spread drama, or bait anyone into a rage fest, call it what you will. I just want to talk it through and hear what you all think. With that said, if we look at the graph, there's a noticeable spike in negative reviews recently. It could be existing players flipping their reviews to negative, or newer players dropping bad ones. Either way, while it's not the flood we saw a year ago, it's a shift from the smooth sailing we've had, low double-digit reviews just a few days back, to now hitting triple digits with negative feedback. Most of them seem tied to the recent update that's been tanking performance. If you missed my last video, the CEO mentioned they're actively looking into performance issues and even have DLSS on their wish list. Beyond that, I've seen some reviews bring up that the chief creative officer's comments about Helldivers being fascist or something along those lines. Something I covered in a previous video as well, and it was totally taken out of context by an article when they wrote about him and said that he said all this stuff, but there was a lot more to it that I covered. There's also chatter about the game feeling repetitive, I guess. So, opinions are mixed, but the bulk of negative reviews seem to zero in on performance problems from the latest update. Alongside some lingering frustrations over the CCO's comments, there's also comments about how the United Nations talked to them about mind control. Overall, the reviews are trending slightly downward, but I don't see this becoming a runaway trend. It's likely to fizzle out soon enough. So, what do you think is going on here? How are you feeling about the game lately? Are some of these players justified in leaving harsh reviews for Helldivers 2? Personally, I think the performance complaints stem from the recent automaton AI improvements, which have been causing a lot of performance issues, something the devs have acknowledged. Will it get better? I'm optimistic it will. I get the frustration from players, and I think that's why it'll improve. They'll start flipping those reviews back once again, once things are stabilized and performance has improved. What's your take? That's pretty much it for today's video. What we're going to do now is talk about the top 3 comments. If you want to be featured on the video, like always, comment down below. The first top comment comes from JTM9723. Devs give us so many guidelines to win important defenses, but no one reads dispatch or cares enough to do it at all. Yeah, sadly, that's kind of the problem, right? It's either they don't read it, or they know it's there and they don't care to read it, or possibly, maybe they just don't care about the major orders overall, and that might be the issue. Some of them just want to have fun, and that might be the main purpose, just to play the game but not really care about the major orders. The second top comment comes from Carnage. Joel made one MOs necessary and the other MO fun. So the blob fought the new enemies. They also didn't care about the MO. The new enemies weren't on the Gambit planet, so they weren't. Joel then desperately tried to teach the blob how Gambits work, but the blob doesn't read. And yeah, again, it's either they just don't care about it, or maybe they just want to have fun and play the game, you know, the way they want to. The second top comment comes from Skylar. Every match I play, one diver is only a cape and a backpack running around with no limbs or head. Yeah, it's a common issue, unfortunately, and it's been going on for a while now, ever since the recent patch drop, so we're probably going to deal with that for a little bit more, you know, until a hotfix drops. Well, there you go. Those are the top 3 comments. If you can, support the channel by tapping the like button, subscribing, and maybe, just maybe, turn on those notifications. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to everyone that is currently a member on the channel. I appreciate you guys so much, and I appreciate you guys stopping by that are not subscribed. I truly do. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.